All right. Well, market just opened. Let's get into our analysis. So I got NQ up on the right, ES up on the left. So I have a daily time frame pulled up. Again, let's look at a daily, and we can see we are back at all-time highs, just around all-time highs. um, Everything to me still looks bullish, right? We have to assume that longs will continue to step in. Looking at this chart right here, there's nothing here that could tell me bearish until we actually see a real reversal pattern. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the 4 hour. We can see here on the 4 hour, look what we did. We traded down into this 4 hour order block, and then we came into this 4 hour bullish fair value gap or busy right there. See how we respect that level. All right, so we came down into that. We see us respecting our 4 hour busy. We head back up, go down to a 1 hour, same thing. We come down, we close just below the hourly bullish fair value gap, but we bounce off that hourly order block. We're going back for those all-time highs, that Asia high. Okay, 30-minute, you can see 30-minute order block, bounce, 30-minute fair value gap we touch into, we continue to push, right? So everything right now still tells me we're going to continue to the longs. So that's my bias today. There's no way that I could have a short bias until we actually see a reversal happen in the market, or let's say maybe we have some negative news come out. That could make things change a little bit, right? So on a 15-minute, I have my Asia high charted out here at 18,824 at 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and that's that all-time high that we have, that we see price taking out right now. We're taking out our all-time highs again. Okay, we have Asia low down here at 18,806.50. All right, now I'm going to look for my London highs and lows. We can see our London high is at 2 a.m. right here, top of that bearish candle. All right, we just took out our London high as well. And then we can look for our London low, which would be 445 down here. All right, that's our London low. Okay, so we took out Asia low liquidity, London low liquidity, and now we're pumping through and we are taking out London high and Asia high now. We have already taken out yesterday's high. Okay, I expect us to continue to the upside, like I said, until we see some kind of reversal. Let's see, it will be key to see what happens here at market open after taking out that buy side liquidity up top at our all-time highs. Okay, we can look at a 5-minute, see how this next 5-minute candle closes. We've got about a minute left on that 5-minute candle. All right, but everything in this structure tells me longs, longs, longs. There's nothing telling me short. So I'm going to continue to look for long setups. And remember, we don't have any resistance levels up top because these are all-time highs. So if we do find a good long setup, we're going to have to basically be looking to take profit at a certain tick amount, right? So just kind of be looking for a good RR because we don't have any levels to base our exits off of up here. Okay, so let's say maybe on a 15-minute we do come up and we don't end up closing above and we see some kind of reversal pattern happen on the 1-minute. That's when we could think about maybe the shorts are going to come back into this market and rebalance some of our imbalances. But for now, I'm thinking longs, long, long, long. Okay, so this 5-minute just closed. We can see the 5-minute did not close above. We grabbed London high liquidity and Asia high liquidity. No close above, but I'm still expecting these longs to continue. We can go over here on ES and check out what's going on over here. All right, look at a daily on ES. We can see all this divergence. Notice how we didn't close above. So this is yesterday's candle. We didn't close above our previous day candle like we did on NQ. ES has come up and grabbed all of our buy side liquidity, and it's kind of trading a lot lower than NQ is, right? So a lot of divergence between the two right now. Let's see on a 1 hour. You can see us still respecting that 1 hour order block, and we're still trying to push up. Let's look for our London highs and lows here on ES. So London high, looks like we've got it all the way up here at 2 a.m. as well. So we're not even close to London high just yet on ES. Still kind of a ways away from it. And then we'll look for London low, which will be down here, same time, 4:45 a.m. Eastern. That's our London low. All right, so It's going to be very important to wait and see how this 15-minute candle reacts off of our liquidity up here. We can see that instant reaction on market open, how we grab that liquidity and we're starting to head down. So I'm going to start looking on the 1 minute, to see how this 1 minute candle or the 1 minute structure looks. Okay, let's say the 1 minute ends up coming down, closing below VWAP, creating a bearish breaker block. Maybe that's when we start looking for shorts because we did grab that liquidity. Maybe we'll try to rebalance the market a little bit. If that doesn't happen, all right, I'm still continuing to look for longs. Today's going to be a very interesting day as well. If we look at our news, we have news in less than 30 minutes. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern's existing home sales, which is a orange folder event. So that's a medium news or medium impact on our market. They're projecting that the numbers will look better than the previous numbers, which would be a positive impact to the market. So we'll see what happens there. We also have crude oil inventories at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That's only a yellow folder. And then we have our big news at 2 p.m. Eastern, right? So 11 a.m. Pacific, which is our FOMC meeting minutes. Okay, so that's going to be that red folder news event where we're going to see a lot of increase in volatility in the market leading up to that point and after that. So we're going to have to navigate this market carefully today. We also have our NVIDIA earnings post-market close, right? So, we're probably going to see a lot of volatility. Probably going to see a lot of volatility today. But doesn't mean we still can't find some good setups. All right, we can still look for good setups here in this market, see what it offers us. But patience is key. We got to not rush into our trades, but really be waiting for our A+ setups. Like I said, let's say we do form this reversal pattern, right? We'd say we displace these lows down here on the 5 minute and form that 5 minute bearish breaker, right? That's something I would start to look for the shorts. But as long as we're staying above and we continue to, stay up in this level, I'm still looking for longs, right? So these lows down here is something that where I would expect, right, that market structure shift if we closed below with a bearish reversal pattern. That's when I would start looking for shorts. Besides that, bias is still long. And it's going to be important, like I said, to see what this 15-minute does, see how it closes. Look how we've grabbed liquidity at the top, and we have come completely down from that level, but we still have about 6 minutes left on this candle. So it has not closed yet. We got to really see how this 15-minute candle is going to close to really be able to tell what's going to happen, right? But if it does close all the way down here and it doesn't even displace these these highs up here, any of these highs, that means, to me, that means the longs aren't looking too strong, especially when we have ES all the way down here. We might see these shorts kind of step in for a little bit. So my immediate bias is long and my reactionary bias is short. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm assuming longs because we're at all-time highs because of our market structure, but my reactionary bias will be short if we do come down and break structure to the downside. We're seeing a lot of divergence between ES and NQ. Okay, so we have to be ready to react to our market conditions. We can't just be stuck in one bias. Once things change, we got to be able to react and we got to be able to change our plan a little bit. So that's where my head's at right now. So now it's about being patient, waiting for that right setup, seeing if we can, find a good trade opportunity. Okay, so a few more minutes left on the 15-minute candle. We're kind of just chilling right now. Nothing too crazy has happened yet. Looks like we are trying to come down for these lows. Almost looks like we're trying to form that bearish reversal here on this 1 minute candle, 1 minute time frame. Right, so if we were to displace that low, that would be a 1 minute bearish breaker. Right, and that's where I would be looking for resistance to take us back down. Yeah, I almost always start with half a lot. On pretty much every trade I get into, sometimes I will jump into a full lot if I think that trade's going to really explode. But especially on the first trade of the day, I typically like to go in a lighter position because you're kind of just testing out what the market's like for the day. Sometimes you don't really know how price is going to react. So I like to kind of start off a little bit light How do you do that on Tradevate? You would go up if you want to. You can add the DOM into your Tradevate, or you can go up to where that trading tab is right above your charts, and you'll click on the option where you can actually change the amount of contracts, right? So you could go with half a lot. So half a lot would just be, depending on your full size, right? Say your full size is 10 micros, half a lot would be 5 micros, so you'd scale on with those 5, and then you would add in 5. Okay, so we're coming back down into that 4-hour imbalance. I would just add in that one more contract when we get into a full. So I would buy in with one. Let's say my full position is 2 minis. I would buy in with one, and then I would add another one once we start to move in my direction. Okay, so we have a unicorn on the 1 minute. We slightly displaced this low. Did we displace this low? No, we didn't really displace the low, but we still have the setup, so we don't really have that breaker completely because this 1 minute did not displace the low. I still like the shorts coming in here. I still think that could be a pretty good trade setup here, right? So off that 1 minute fair value gap up there, taking the shorts, looking to catch them down all the way, probably down to these lows if we're going to really see that big drop. Like down to here. Right, so that could be an entry if you wanted to get an entry in the shorts off that 1 minute fair value gap, or even right down here. All right, let's say we wanted to get an entry here. That's a little late for me just yet. You can still have a 45 tick stop or even a 40 tick stop just above that fair value gap, above that breaker. All right, we still have 2 minutes left on the 15-minute candle, but look how low that one is coming here. Remember that 5 minute is truly what we're looking for, displacement of London low, displacement of these lows. That's truly that market structure shift that we would be looking for. So I'm not looking to rush into a trade just yet. I do want to see how we close, right? Because on the 1 minute we can get faked out pretty easily, especially because we're in a 4-hour bullish imbalance. Right, but if we start to react again off a VWAP here, I'll start looking for shorts. But I did want to see that 5 minute really displace, and we're not doing that. So I'm really going to be patient. I'm going to be patient here. It looks like we're almost trying to push back up. All right. That's why we wait for these 5 and 15-minute candles to close to really get that confirmation. Like I said, that this entry up here would have been an aggressive entry. Still could have been a good entry. We just didn't see any kind of follow through, right? No follow through. And now we closed above the breaker. So now that breaker is disrespected. All right, and that's why if we're expecting shorts to come in at all-time highs, we have to see clear market structure shift. Right? And we notice that we never actually closed below. Look at that. Yeah, look at that long wick on the 5 minute. And we can see that long wick both ways on the 15-minute. Okay, so now what we're looking for is if price wants to come back up and displace the highs, create a bullish breaker, we could look for that. We still aren't going to have displacement though. We've got only 20 seconds left on the 15-minute candle. We don't see any real displacement on either side. So we're just kind of chilling in this range for now. All right, we're chilling in this market open range. These levels are ranging up and down. Grab some sell side liquidity, heading back up. So really got to wait for a displacement on higher time frames. That's why you didn't see me jump into that trade, right? I thought it could have been a decent entry, but we didn't get that true break of structure. So that's why you didn't see me jump into it. Okay, we just closed that 15-minute close bullish, still grabbed liquidity on both sides. We did displace this 15-minute order block right here. So we can see if we start to get a reaction off this 15-minute bullish order block. Remember, we do have news in 15 minutes. Okay, so I'd probably want to be out of our position by that time if we were going to trade. The only way I would continue to hold it is if we are pretty far into profit already and I have my stop loss into profit. That way, just in case if it did come down and it did stop us out, we wouldn't get slippage and we wouldn't get stopped. We wouldn't get filled a lot lower than we'd want. So the projection for that news for home sales is supposed to outperform our previous numbers, right? So we would expect longs to continue, but sometimes that news comes out negative and we see a different effect in our market. Okay, so We're starting to look like we're trying to push up through. We're getting some high volume candles here on the 1 minute. Okay, let's say we did push through these highs, create a bullish breaker, create a, displace this 5-minute order block. That could be a good support level for a long, to where we don't have any resistance levels up here, so we could really expand to the longs, and we could really just have to, at that point, like I was saying earlier, we would have to just take our profit based off of our risk to reward. We don't really have any take profit levels up here. We don't have any, right? There's nothing up there. So, that's when I would just be looking to take like a 2-to-1, or a 3-to-1. Just kind of reading how price is looking once we're at these highs. But again, we're still not breaking out of this range. We're kind of just chilling here. So I really want to wait for us to actually break through. You could take an entry off in the longs off of this 1 minute bullish order block, where we haven't displaced it yet, so that would be more of an aggressive entry. Not an entry I'm looking to take right now, just because we're still chilling in this range. Okay, if you wanted to be really risky, you wanted to be more aggressive, and you really expect the longs to step in, this would be that original entry, that risky entry that you could take here, expecting price to bounce from here. But again, we haven't even displaced this 1 minute order block, so it's not something I'm looking to take just yet. And we have not broken out of this range on either side. So notice how we traded back into this 4-hour, where is it? Yeah, sorry. So this 4-hour busy, we ended up trading back into it, and then we pumped right back to the highs again. Hourly still looks very bullish. Look at that 15. Notice how we closed above the order block here. So this 15-minute order block could act as strong support, but for me, there's no reason to rush into anything. We still don't really see the clearest direction in the market, because we're not really breaking through. We're not breaking through the highs. We're not breaking through the lows. We're kind of just hanging out here. So I'm really just waiting for clear confirmation. Okay, and we do have news coming in 12 minutes. All right, so if we're a few minutes away from news, you're not going to see me jump into a trade. I'll just wait for that news to come out. Yeah, exactly, KT. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Right? If that news does come out positive, then yeah, we'll see us really pump, create new, higher highs. And if not, then we will most likely see that market structure shift, and we'll be able to look for shorts off of that. So, it's probably the smarter thing to wait for that news to come out. Wait like 10 more minutes, see what happens. It'll, typically orange folder, red folder news gives us more clear direction. Once we give it a little bit of time to play out, it really will start to push us in the direction that, that the market's going to start moving for the day. Sometimes before that news comes out, we see a lot of chop. We see a lot of ranging. Oh, I didn't change the color of the names. You're right. Look, I can do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. Let's see what color would be good. How about that? I think that's a little bit better. For now, we can keep it like that for now. I can really see the names now. Okay, so we're pushing back to those highs. Pushing up to those highs now. Still getting some crazy SMT divergence here. Look how ES is all the way down here. And if we look at NQ, NQ's at these highs. Well, ES, these are the same highs, right? Those all-time highs. We are so far away on ES. So a lot of divergence. And I would still be wanting to see 5-minute displacement of this order block here, before really wanting to jump into anything. Sometimes it will happen. Sometimes we will see ES and NQ be a lot different. The past week or two, we have seen a lot of divergence between the two. Typically, they are going to move around the same levels. But yeah, recently we're seeing a lot of divergence, and not just small 1-minute divergence, but like actual, higher time frame divergence where ES is pretty far away from where NQ is, right? But ES still looks like it's trying to push up for those highs, as we can see. It's still looking very bullish. Still has a 1-minute bullish structure. Remember when I talked about this being that aggressive entry in the longs? Let's say you did take that entry. Say you got that entry down here when I talked about it. Right? You could still catch around 50 ticks so far. But at the same time, still not an entry I'd be really looking to take, just because we haven't gotten that true break of structure to the upside. We haven't really actually displaced. We haven't even displaced on a 1-minute yet. So, I'll probably not take any trades until we do have news come out at this point. We'll see how this 5-minute closes. We're getting those longs really pumping. Is anybody in the longs? Just want to see if there is anybody, just so we can kind of talk about that trade if you did get in. Okay, Jackie Chan, you did get in. Okay, so seems like a few people are. Most people aren't. But let's say you got those longs down here. Okay, when I called them out or I talked about them. Yeah, that's pretty good. About 74 ticks from when I was talking about it, right? But again, that's not to give anybody FOMO if you didn't get in the trade, because I didn't get in the trade. It's just to talk about, like, this is how we're figuring out what kind of traders we are. Are we more aggressive? Are we less aggressive? Are we more risk averse, right? And look at that dump. This is why you have not seen me get into any trades, right? Because we haven't seen that displacement. Right, we have not seen that displacement yet of those highs. So, that could have been a solid TP up here. You could have caught, 50, 60, 70 ticks if that stopped to break even. And at that point, you'd still would have won that trade. Right, if I got into that trade, that's what I would have done. I would have taken my TP off at these highs and then moved my stop to break even. All right, and at this point, probably would have been close to stopped out. Which is still a winning trade if that was you, if you did get into it. Okay, so we got displacement on the 1-minute, but we see that very aggressive down close candle. No displacement on the 5-minute. And we have about 30 seconds left in the 5-minute. So we're just seeing that a lot of manipulation. We're seeing that we continue to try to grab liquidity above and come right back down with no real move up. So we're just kind of chilling until that news comes out. That's what I'm waiting for. All right, we've got about 5 minutes until that news is released. And after that, I think we'll really be able to see what's going to happen in the market. Yeah, 1 hour close as well. Look, especially on the 1 hour, we're able to read a lot of the market based off the 1 and 4 hour candles. Seeing that 1 hour, if this 1 hour closes below these lows, then we might continue to head down. But if this 1 hour does come up and displace the highs, I do think longs will continue. This will be important to check out, see how this 1 hour closes. We might, it just depends. Just depends. So we just got to be patient, guys. We really got to just hang out. Really got to chill until we see clear direction. You're never gonna see me trading the news. The only time you'll ever see me in a trade during the news is if we've already caught a trade, we're well into profit, and we want to see that, maybe that news will accelerate us a few hundred ticks in our direction. That's different. I'm definitely willing to do that. But I will never hop into a trade right when news is released. That's just not my style. That's not the kind of trader I am. I don't think it creates good habits. I think it creates bad habits. Because you can assume as much as you want, as that news is going to be positive or that news is going to be negative, but sometimes we really have no idea, and at that point it can be a big gamble. That's why, to me, it's better to just wait for that news to come out, see what the market does, see the reaction, and then hop in a trade after that. Yes, exactly. Yep, displacement retracement is the same thing as a break and retest. I think displacement retracement sounds a lot cooler, and it's also we're really focusing on what is truly happening, right? Because a break is, we know what a break of structure is or a break is, but displacement, we're really focusing on that candle closing above, right? Yeah, with NVIDIA, I've been hearing a lot of different things. Everybody thinks NVIDIA, or there's a lot of people that think NVIDIA is gonna really have a bad day today. There's a lot of people that think that, but to me, it's just not worth gambling it either way. Personally, I don't want to gamble it. That's just me. Yeah, maybe I'll hit Nancy up and see. She can give me some insight. That'd be cool. I'm sure she'll make another 100 million today. That's really what I just got to do. I got to become a U.S. senator, guys. I just got to become a U.S. senator, and then I'll really be set. It's like the biggest cheat the system there is. Let me write the law about these companies, and then I'll buy some options in that company because I know exactly what's going to happen. And then I won't get any accountability. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And there's politicians on every side of the spectrum doing that. It's not just one side of the spectrum, right? There's a lot of them doing that. Cool. Yeah, I'll be in the Senate running my session still. Like, hold up, guys! I got my market open session. We gotta stop. Millies to billies. Okay, we're really chopping. We got news coming out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Okay, let's see what this market does. See what the market does here. Look how our 15-minute did close above our previous high. It didn't close above this high here. Worse than expected. That's the news that came out. Okay, well, if it's worse than expected, that's when we start looking for a break of structure to the downside. We could look for shorts. We grab that liquidity. Let's see how aggressive we start to head down. Oh wow, that's a lot lower. That's a lot lower. 414. I know that what was the previous? Oh yeah, I just saw 414. The previous was 4.22. That's not good. That's not good. And if anybody is confused about what we're talking about, guys, this is existing home sales. So the projection for existing home sales for the numbers was 4.21. The previous, oh, so it was projected a little bit less. Okay, so the previous was 4.22, and the numbers just came out as 4.14, which is a lot lower than the previous, release, and a lot lower than the projected release. So I would expect, right, after seeing that the market would have a negative reaction, but sometimes the market does whatever it wants. Sometimes the market does whatever it wants, right? Well, if we have more people buying homes, that's normally typically a better sign for our economy, right? That means more people have money to spend. That's the way I see it. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional, but that's typically how I would see it. Let's see, 15-minute bullish breaker. Yeah, it would be a 15-minute bullish breaker, but I would want to see displacement first on the 15-minute above this previous high. Look at this wick right here. We didn't close above that, so I would want to see full displacement of that candle first. Yeah, exactly. So we're still chopping. Still chopping here. Haven't really seen any crazy reaction. Just waiting. Let's look over here. Yeah, we have SMT on ES all the way up to here. So, we are. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a little bit of a drop in the market right now. But we're still chopping. We haven't seen any good price action just yet. These longs are kind of the only thing that would have been decent, but I still didn't really want to take those just because we were sitting in the middle of that range. Maybe if we get a break of structure here on the 1 minute or on the 5 minute, we're just kind of hanging out here. We're just kind of hanging out. Just waiting for some kind of aggressive move. Waiting for some volume, for some momentum to step in. Push us in a direction. Give us an opportunity. If that doesn't happen, well, then we won't hop in a trade. Right now, we're just accumulating. Accumulating on both NQ and ES. So our next news release is in 30 minutes or 25 minutes, but it's only a yellow folder event. And that's our crude oil inventories. So I don't expect a big impact on that one. Okay, you won't see me jump into a trade until we see real displacement on either side. Okay, the 5 minute closed. 5 minute close down here. And this 5 minute opens, pushing up. Let's check out the VIX. The VIX is starting to head up a little bit. Same with DXY. Yeah, exactly. We typically see a lot of fake outs happen on the 1 minute, and that's why we like to wait for the 15 and 5 minute to actually close above, because that gives us a little more confirmation on our market direction. Because if we took a 1 minute displacement every single time, like we could see here, that would have faked us out, and we come right back down. Right, so that's why I like to see it on the 5 and the 15. No, the 5 minute is still significant. The 15 minute is, in my opinion, more important. But let's look at the hourly as well. So the hourly did close with displacement above, just barely. Right, so the hourly still looks very bullish. So let's see, this might be a power of 3. Fake out to the downside, grabbing sell side liquidity. We'll see what happens. Pretty aggressive move down here. Bouncing off VWAP on both ES and NQ. So our higher time frames still look very bullish, right? Still look very bullish. We got displacement on the 1 hour. No, we saw it close just above. If it closes equal, that would not be displacement. But since we closed above, we can see that displacement here. If it closes equal, I don't consider that to be displacement. Okay, we just traded back into that 15-minute order block. Looks like longs might want to step back in. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's a nice bounce off VWAP. Still not enough confirmation for me. But we're starting to see a good reaction. I do kind of want to give longs a chance here. Just don't want to rush into anything just yet. But I do like that move down, grabbing liquidity. We're still in this range, so I'm not loving an entry just yet. I'm not loving an entry. Still going to be patient. Which chart do you have up, AZ Sunshine? Do you have... and it's NQM 2024, or June contracts? That's weird. So when we have such long wicks, typically it indicates, a weakness to one side, or it indicates a liquidity grab where we come down, grab liquidity, and then pump. But when we see those longer wicks, it typically indicates a weak candle, right? We want to see those full body candles to show strength to one side. When we see the long wicks, it doesn't give us all the confidence in the world that price is going to continue in that direction, right? So when I see this long wick down and we see a bounce from a support level, that kind of makes me more cautious to want to get in the shorts because it's showing weakness. It's not showing strength. We didn't see a full body close down. And a lot of the time these candles indicate reversals after we grab liquidity. It's that hammer candle idea. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we typically see in a range, right? Typically we see in a range where price will wick up above and below long wicks. We're not seeing us break out of the range, and that's why you're not seeing me take any trades, because we're showing weakness to both sides, and that's why we're just sitting in this area. We're not breaking out on either side. All right, so that's a good eye there. That's exactly why I'm still waiting to get in a trade, because we're showing weakness to both sides. We're not showing any. We're not. NQ is not showing us that it wants to break out yet. Until that happens, I'm going to wait. Okay, so we still have support on the 15-minute. We have this 15-minute bullish order block. We are now into our silver bullet hour, which typically we would go target, liquidity on during silver bullet. We don't really have much buy side besides these highs here. We obviously have a lot of sell side liquidity down at these lows. But yeah, I mean, so far we haven't really even created any fair value gaps down here. There's still nothing that I would want to jump into just yet. This price action today has not been very good so far. I'd much rather sit on the sidelines than jump into some bad price action, right? And that's what I said yesterday, right? We came into today expecting the day to not be the best, right? We expect today to be kind of all over the place because of our news and because of we have FOMC, we have NVIDIA earnings, right? So I expected to come into this day with a very conservative mindset. And that's what we've done so far. And I'd rather kind of sit on the sideline and make sure that we have clear, concise setups than try to jump into trades when we're just chopping and just lose money for no reason. All right, it's starting to look like a power of 3 setup if we can push through these highs. All right, where we have that accumulation, that manipulation, that distribution back up. All right, that's what it's starting to look like. See if we get any kind of follow through. We actually want to break out of a range. And if I end up taking no trades today, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Obviously, I want to look for trades. I'm always looking for trade setups. But if there's nothing, I can walk away without taking one trade during the entire day and I can still be satisfied and still be content. And that is the point that you need to get to. You have to get to that point where you can sit here for a few hours and not take one trade and be completely okay with that. I'm telling you that will make a major change in your trading career if you can actually have that patience to sit and watch the market, and if nothing happens that you want to see, you just don't trade. Because you're going to come into the next day and you're going to be so happy. You're going to be so happy that you just waited and you didn't take any trades, you stuck to your plan, you had good discipline. Because now, let's say tomorrow we have great price action, we have great setups. You don't come into that next day with a losing, with your account being down. You still have good drawdown, whatever kind of account you're trading. You're going to feel a lot better about it. Okay, so we just had one small little fair value gap formed here on the 1 minute, and we're seeing a reaction off of it. All right, we see us reacting off of it. That's a good sign. Looks like this power of 3 is trying to set up for these longs. Okay, that's a strong 5-minute candle. So now, okay, longs are starting to look pretty good if we can break out of this range. Yeah, we're in that silver bullet hour. We finally created a fair value gap, and we can see that reaction off of it. All right, we've got that that buy side liquidity up here. Our all-time highs. Yes, I can. There you go. All right, power of 3 is looking pretty nice. You still wouldn't have seen me take a trade in this stuff, though. I still really wanted to wait. And if I miss out, I miss out. That's okay. it'd be big to see if the 5 minute candle here on ES displaces these highs, turning this into a 5 minute bullish order block. That could really push us up, right? And if ES wants to push for these highs, that means NQ is probably going to do the same and can just continue in the longs until ES reaches those highs, right? So that's when we're using ES as a confluence. And if ES is continuing to try to push for our highs, then we're probably going to see NQ doing the same and just continuing long. And look at that 1 hour candle. We saw that retracement move, and we're seeing that pump. Four-hour closed the slight displacement as well. But I just still don't have conviction in a trade just yet. There's just nothing that I'm loving. Obviously this power of 3 setup looks good. The issue with this one is, let's say we do come up and grab those highs, and then we come right back down, right? So we would need to see some real displacement of these highs, on the 5 minute, closing above, and then we can look for the long entries to continue to take us higher. Got a fair value gap on the 3 minute down there, on the 4 minute as well. Yeah, you can use TradingView. You don't have to connect it to an actual trading account, but you can connect it. Yeah, you can use TradingView for free, but you do have to pay for data. If you want to see live data, you have to pay for it. Exactly, Shosky. Shosky said it best. Right, it's okay to miss out on 25 ticks of the move to make sure it's a real move. 100%. Shouldn't be getting FOMO every time a trade starts running away. So we get back to those highs, and we struggle to push through them. We're still sitting in this range. Let's look. We do have this 3 minute fair value gap down here, and a 4 minute, or not a 4 minute, sorry, just the 3 minute. But we're just pushing right through it right now. So 3 minute busy here. All right, let's say we wanted to get entry right here. What are we looking for? Yeah, about 50 ticks for our first TP, but where's our stop loss going to be? Yeah, you could have it below the fair value gap. But to me right now, the longs just don't look amazing. They don't look amazing. Let's see what this 3 minute does. We could step in here off that 3 minute imbalance. All right, we're just not seeing any of that fall through. We're continuing in this range, coming right back down. Just not great price action so far today, guys. And if price action isn't great, you're not going to see me rushing to get in. All right, mostly every losing day we've had in this past 4 weeks, the past month, has been because of bad price action. Okay, where our levels just aren't playing out, price is not respecting our levels, or we're not really moving. So when I stay out of that stuff and we're just patient and we wait for good setups, it's just, to me, it's a lot better. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yep. We're just ranging, so. We're back to the bottom of that range, back at VWAP. Let's see this 3 minute. Let's see. Okay, we're really pushing down. Are we going to push through these lows? Are we going to get a break of structure to the downside? Yeah, exactly. A lot of traders do only take a few trades throughout the week. Typically, people that are doing that, you will see people with very large accounts, right? And they're able to take those big trades and just wait for, a few trades. No, but I think the more you can focus on less trades, the better. Right? In our sessions, I don't think, I think there's been 1 or 2 sessions we've taken maybe 4 trades at the most, maybe 5. And that's even a lot for me, right? So I think pretty much every session we've had has not been more than 3 trades. All right, and they're calculated. We got our risk management on point. And trust me, I used to be that person that had to take a lot of trades. I felt like I had to take 10 or 20 or even more than that, right? And I came to that realization where I was like, what am I, like, I don't need to be taking this many trades. At that point, it's really just throwing money into the market for no reason. All right, yeah, exactly. That's when I came to that realization. I was like, you know what? I'm going to really focus on doing less trades, waiting for those A plus setups and only taking those. Just waiting for my strategy to play out. I've been trading for 3 years. So when I first started, I was kind of half in, half out. Wasn't really all in. I was kind of just learning, taking trades, and not really focused. And then, about 6 months to a year in, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in this. I'm gonna go in this hard. I'm gonna go in this full time. I'm gonna put everything I have into studying, into learning. And from then on, that was when things started to change, where I started to see actual growth. It still took me a while to get really good. I appreciate that. I just got tired of the gambling. I got tired of the wasting my time. I'm someone who, if I'm gonna put time into something, if I'm gonna actually put real time, I'm gonna go full in, right? and I think I've talked about this before, but I was reading Matthew McConaughey's his autobiography. I don't know if it's an autobiography, but it's the book he wrote. It's called Green Light or Green Lights. Green Light, yeah. And he talks about when he told his dad, because he was going to be a lawyer, and he was in college, and he called his dad and he said, "Dad, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. I want to be an actor." And he thought that his dad was going to have a negative reaction to that. But instead, what his dad told him was, "Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it." Right? And that was something that really hit home with me. I was like, man, that's so true. If you're going to do something and you're passionate about it and you want to succeed, you got to go all in. You got to go all in. And that doesn't mean all in by all of your money or, throwing all of your money into the market or whatever. That just means that mentally you are so mentally tough that you are going to continue to learn through every loss, and you're going to continue that grind, and you're going to actually have that discipline, and you're going to continue to work until you figure it out. And every day we're still figuring it out every single day. I still struggle. I still have to fight my my demons, that are telling me to have those bad habits. They're telling me to overtrade, to over leverage, right? I have to fight that still all the time. But because I built that discipline, if you can build that discipline, that's how you build that strong self-control, and you're able to hold to your plan. Okay, so on the 3-minute, look how we form that inverse, and we're bouncing off that inverse. So now I'd be still waiting for an actual displacement of these lows. We're still not displacing. I mean, these wicks are just nasty. Look, every time we come back down to the bottom, we just bounce right back up. So there's still nothing I would take as of right now. Yeah, Sea Breezy, I just read that. We can talk about external and internal liquidity. External liquidity is going to be at the top of our ranges, right? Of our higher time frame ranges. So let's look at a daily time frame. So our external liquidity would have been this high from yesterday's high, right? That's the high of this range. Our external liquidity on the daily time frame would be this low down here, because we see this daily range from this high to this low, right? A swing low up to here. So that would be external. It's our higher time frame lows and highs of our swing highs, swing lows. So down here would be external. Okay, up here would have been external liquidity that we took out. Okay, so then we go down to like a 15 and a 5-minute time frame, and now we're looking for internal. Our internal liquidity is all of these liquidity levels that are inside of that external liquidity. Okay, so all of these highs and lows that are inside of our overall daily range or 4-hour range. So when you hear me say internal, it's that stuff that's inside. External is the stuff that's outside, right? That's our higher time frame stuff. Typically, those are our targets on a daily time frame that we're trying to see price go get. And on an internal liquidity is what we're trying to expect on intraday, in certain sessions. Well, internal can still be fair value gaps and order blocks. That's still liquidity on the internal level. But it also is these highs and lows that are these ranges inside of our higher time frame ranges. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're still not breaking out of anything yet, guys. Let's talk about tomorrow. Let's see. Tomorrow, in terms of news, what do we have? So tomorrow we got unemployment claims pre-market. We've got flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI at 9:45 Eastern. So that's right after market open. We've got new home sales, right, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern. and then we've got some yellow folder stuff after that. So in my opinion, the rest of the week is not, I don't believe it's going to be the best price action. We're going into a holiday. We're going into a long holiday weekend. We have a lot of news. We have FOMC today. So I don't think that it's going to be the best price action. Doesn't mean it won't be. Like tomorrow we might still have some decent stuff. But yeah, Friday especially, I don't think we're not gonna have great price action. It's almost every time we see, that Friday before a long weekend, we don't see the best price action. We see very slow movement in the market. So Turtle Soup, Jesse, let's see, 728 candle. 728 Pacific or Eastern? Okay, 728 Pacific. So we're looking at 1028 Eastern. Oh, just now. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so 1007 liquidity. Yeah, okay, I see. So it could be Turtle Soup, right? Where Turtle Soup is basically where we target internal liquidity first, and then we go target external liquidity after that. So technically, it could be because we do have, this would be considered external liquidity because it is our all-time highs. So it could be that Turtle Soup setup. But with our price action the way it is right now, still not really something I would be looking for. But yes, that idea of Turtle Soup is internal liquidity grab going to target external liquidity. Right, so this high would technically be external because it is our all-time highs. It's the top of our daily range. So yeah, so it could be, but we're still chopping. I mean, guys, I don't plan on taking any trades. Like this stuff is not good. We can just look back. There was 2 trades today that I said maybe I would take, and I know some of you took, and they ended up working out. I think the first one did. I don't remember. But still, it wasn't really a lot of follow through. It wasn't great. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to wait around and forever. There's not really anything that we're seeing that's good. Typically, we will see actual movement in the market at this hour, but so far we have not seen anything. I mean, look at these 5-minute wicks. This is just nope. What I would be waiting for is us to break out to actually displace on one side, either the lows or the highs, and then wait for a retracement or an actual setup. It's going to take us somewhere. So right now, I'm just not liking anything in this market. Kava, that happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. It is. I know it's frustrating. I know it's frustrating. But you can come out of that and at least know that your analysis was right. Just didn't time it right. I mean, that was like yesterday, guys. Like yesterday, remember during prop firm session, whoever was there with me, we had our analysis right on point, right? We wanted those longs to step in, and we just didn't get the timing. And then what happened after? We saw price go right to our full TP level after some further retracement, right? So that's just something that you have to learn to live with, and you just learn from that and say, how could I have gotten a better entry? Was it an A+ setup? If it was an A+ setup that I really like, well, then you just, price was manipulating, and you just got to learn to live with that, learn to move on. But it's always a good feeling to know, even if you did get stopped out, that your analysis was good. You had a good prediction of what the market was going to do. But if you continue to try to take those entries, even after you get stopped out 3, 4, 5 times, that's when you continue to lose money, because you're just that means you start to lose that patience. And if you have to miss out on a trade after taking a few losses, you have to miss out. Yeah, I'll give this one a few more minutes, guys. But as long as we're sitting in this range, I'm not going to take any trades. Yeah, very bad habit. But it is looking like we're really just kind of waiting for FOMC minutes. We might see some actual move before that happens, but we're not getting it so far. Exactly. 100% this is below your account price action. No bueno, no me gusta. I'd rather stay out. Chop, chop, chop. ¿Cómo se dice chop en español? I guess I have a computer right in front of me. I could look it up. Let's see. Google Translate. Cortar. Cortar. I know enough Spanish to understand what that means, Sea Breezy. Cortar en pedazos chicos. What does that mean? I'm kind of scared what I just said. Cut into small pieces, okay. Yeah, guys, this stuff is just not fun. We could turn this into a Spanish lesson. I'm trying to get my Spanish better. Estoy practicando. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Practicando. Practicando. Well, my girlfriend does not, and that's okay. But I do have friends that do speak it, so. What does that mean? I need help? Need help practicing? Oh, you'll help me practice. Gracias. Yes, I do. No, you're good. Yeah, I've had a girlfriend for about 2.5 years now. Yo soy. Oh, there we go. What part of Colombia? De Panama. I'd like to go to Panama. Okay, near Bogota. Next time I go, I do want to go visit Bogota. I want to visit Cali. I want to visit what's that city up on the Caribbean? That's where I went. I went to Medellin last time. Cartagena, yeah. Um, yeah, guys, we are just not doing anything here. I'm trying to translate before I type it in to see if I know what you're saying. Movimiento. This movement of price is not good. Gustando. You don't like it. Este movimiento de precio no me está gustando. Yeah, I mean, we might as well learn something while we're here. Might as well learn a skill or a language while we're. Well, Price isn't doing anything. We got Spanish class going on. Okay, are we breaking out? Are we breaking out to the downside? This is a lot of Spanish for me to translate. Cuando el precio es muy lento, ¿qué haces? Does that mean why is price slow or why is price bad? Lento. What does lento mean? Lento. Yeah, slow. Okay. So I had it right. Porque porque we have FOMC. Nosotras tenemos noticias. Oh, what do you do when price is slow? I talked to you guys and learned Spanish. Um, when price is slow, we just kind of have to hang out and just wait and be patient. But if it continues to be slow and we don't have good price action, then I end up just calling it a day. Okay, I'm trying. Let's see. Cuando precio esté lento, I think I'm saying that right. Esté lento, yo, mm, yo caminar. How do you say I walk away? I walk away. Let's see. Me alejo. Me voy. Okay. I'm not saying that one. Not saying that one. I have a good amount of friends that are Spanish speakers, and I've worked with a lot of people in the past that are Spanish speakers. So I've always gotten to practice, but when I'm not around it, it's really hard for me to continue that learning. I just have to be more disciplined in my learning. It was a lot easier for me, when I was in high school and I was in Spanish class and I was, I would speaking it every day, or when I was traveling, like when I was in Cuba, I was able to speak it a lot and just kind of be immersed in it. No. Yo no, yo no como, what is it, Almorzar, or almorzaste, is that how you say it? Almorzado. Yeah, I still am on breakfast time. Desayuno. I still haven't even had desayuno. Yo tampoco means me too, right? Me as well. Sí, yo tengo hambre. Yo tengo hambre. Yeah, because me también would be, or no, también would be like too, like me too. Yo también. Yo tampoco. Me neither. That's right. Okay. Well, it turns into Spanish class when we have no good price action. When we're just chilling like this, that's when it turns into Spanish. Exactly. Summer plans, man. Okay. What are my summer plans? To grind, 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 grind. Work even harder. Work even harder. I do want to do a little bit of traveling this summer. I don't know exactly where just yet, but I definitely want to do a little bit of traveling. That's right. También when you did the same thing. Tampoco when you didn't. Okay. Hay que manteneros hidratados todos. Okay, that one I'm gonna have to translate that one. Hay que manteneros means you have to keep hidratados, hydrated. You have to stay hydrated. Verdad. Es verdad. One of my favorites is Otro Día de Vida. Mi amigo. Otro Día de Vida. I'm not going to say that one. Yeah, well, I mean, for now, guys, we're not gonna take any trades. I'm just hanging out with you guys. We're speaking some Spanish. If you guys want to hang out, you can hang out. I don't plan on taking any trades in this chop. So yeah, at this point, I don't really plan on taking any trades. We'll come back. In terms of prop firm session, we do have FOMC right after, or like 30 minutes after we typically start. So maybe we'll start our prop firm session a little early today. Maybe we'll start our prop firm session at 10 a.m. Pacific instead of 10:30, just so we can give us a little bit of time before that FOMC to see if we do have any good price action. And I'll send out an announcement too, just in case. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to hang out for a little bit longer, just chill. Guys, what I really want for this community is for us to really get to know each other on a personal level. For this to be a real community, a true community, right? Where we're not just talking about trading, but we're really getting to know each other. And that's why I made those tabs of, different hobbies and different things so that we can really actually have a real community. Because I know so many of these trading discords, I know a lot of them aren't real communities. A lot of them are just kind of, you hop on, you trade, you leave, you know? And I want this to be more than that. I want this to be more of, we're focused on trading, but we're also focused on getting better in every aspect of our life and really getting to know one another. And I feel strongly about that. Will I do a meet and greet? Yeah, I definitely plan on doing it in the future. That would be really cool to do one in the future. Costa Rica would be awesome. Costa Rica is on the top of my list for where I want to go. I almost went last year. It ended up falling through. Oh, to surf in Costa Rica would be amazing. It would be amazing. I've only ever surfed in California, which the waves can be pretty nice here. The waves can be pretty nice. I haven't been able to surf for a while. I messed up my shoulders pretty bad. So, I've been lazy. I got to get into the doctor and really get into actual physical therapy. Yeah, it's probably going to be better. Hopefully, it'll be better after lunch. That's why I'm thinking if we start our next session at 10 a.m. Pacific, instead of 10:30, we'll come in right after lunch, give us an hour before FOMC, see if we can get any setups. Been fishing. Yeah, I've been fishing plenty of times. It's not one of my like hobbies. I don't go fishing a lot, and I haven't been in a while. But a lot of my friends are really into it, so I'll go with them. It's actually been a few years since I've been fishing, but it is very. I do like to relax, and fishing is a very relaxing thing to do. See you then, brother. See you soon. Yeah, fishing's cool. I just love any kind of outdoor activity. Sign me up. I'm a very active person, and I do have some very bad back problems and some bad shoulder problems. So it's a bummer because I am limited to what I can do, but I still go out and do a lot of stuff. I still play basketball all the time. I still go to the gym all the time. Still do a lot of outdoor stuff. That's pretty much every hobby I have is outdoors. Besides like music, like playing the piano, that's indoors. But and I just like to be active. I like to see what this world has to offer. There's a lot of cool things out there if you just go outside. And it can be hard because of what we do, guys. I mean, everything we do is in front of a computer, right? For trading, we're sitting down all day. So it makes it even more important for us to go walk around, get active, get away from our screens, actually, get some sunshine. It's super important. I know for me personally, if I don't do that, it has a big effect on my mental health and a big effect on my physical health. And that definitely ties into trading. That's why I try to focus a lot of my time. A lot of my time is obviously in trading, but a lot of my other time that I'm not trading, I'm focusing on being active, whether that's running or going to the gym, playing basketball, hiking, whatever that looks like. And then as well as taking care of your mental health, super important. Reading, if whether you have a relationship with God or not, prayer, meditation, that kind of stuff. And another thing that I've found to be very helpful for me is just learning different hobbies, learning different skills. I've noticed that when I put my mind to something different, when I really start to try to learn something, it makes me have to get out of my comfort zone. And it's great. It's great for me. It's great for my personal growth. Um, I haven't played Xbox in a while. I do have one. I used to play. Like over COVID, I played a lot of Xbox. I played a lot more than I would like to admit. But I'm not a huge video games guy. I do love to play, but you won't really find me sitting down by myself for hours playing. I love playing, like I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. I love playing Madden and 2K. But there's some of those games where my friends will try to get me to play, and I'm like, you guys have been playing this game for like 3 years, and you're all super good. By the time I start, like it's not even worth it for me. Like you guys just kill me every single time. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not do that. I've played some GTA. GTA is a fun game. I've been playing piano since I was 17. What am I now? 23. So it's been about 6 years. So I took lessons when I was younger, like for about a year or two. I think I was like 9 or 10, and I ended up just quitting. I was like, this isn't something I want to do, so I quit playing piano. But my mom has this piano in her house that is always there, and it's been passed down for generations. And one day in high school, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and see what I still know. So I kind of just sat down and started reading some music. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And I don't really read music at all. Like I pretty much learn everything from YouTube. So I just started watching videos, started learning, started playing, and then I started getting addicted to it. And at my high school, we had a piano. We had actually two pianos. One was in I went to a Christian school in high school. We had a chapel, and there was a grand piano, beautiful grand piano in there. So I would sneak out of class, and I would go just play piano during class, or whenever like even during lunch, or we would be in there before a football game, and I would go play as my pregame ritual. So I just started playing every single day for hours, and I just kind of taught myself through watching YouTube videos. Started learning songs. I bought myself a keyboard. Yeah, I mean, I love it, guys. I could play piano every single day, never get sick of it because there's so much to learn. There's millions or thousands or hundreds of thousands of songs out there that could be learned. So I just love it. I love when there's infinite learning. Any kind of skill where there's so much to learn and you can always improve, I love it. That's that's crazy. Graduated as an engineer without reading a book since elementary. Hey, good for you. I lost my love for reading and then I gained it back. I used to love reading growing up, and then I really stopped for a long time because it got into that like high school in college where you're kind of forced to read, and it's books that maybe you don't want to read. And then I started to read again on my own, and I was like, you know what? I actually really love this. That's the other thing. There's just infinite books. And I used to own a business, back a few years ago, where I actually I sold used books for a living. So I started collecting all the books that I wanted that I didn't want to sell. So now I've got a good collection of books, and I just want to continue to expand my knowledge. And reading is one of the best ways to do it, and that's why I'm excited for that book club. I think it's going to be really cool. Exactly, yeah. You learn upside down on the guitar, so because now that's awesome. That's skill. That's some skill. I'm trying to learn guitar right now. Actually, I've been trying to learn for like a month or two. I'm naturally lefty when I play guitar, and I had to teach myself to play righty because there's no lefty guitars around. So at first it was really just weird, unnatural feeling. But the more I started practicing, the more it started feeling a little more natural. That's pretty cool though. That's awesome. And Jordan, didn't you say you're in a band or you have a band? Okay, you play solo. And where are you located? Play a lot of shows? I feel like you might have said this before. 90s acoustic grunge and alt rock. I love it. Price is coming back to the top of this range right now. It's crazy how we have not broken out of this range whatsoever. Oh wow. Well, good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, I've always thought about starting a band. I think it would be pretty cool. Yeah, I feel that. Like every time I go to a concert, I'm like, I need to start a band. I got to do this. It's just so cool to see people playing live. Like just the pure skill and passion they have for music is it's inspiring. That's like one of my favorite things is like I'm not really a big, I don't really like love going to clubs or things like that, but I do love going to a bar that has a live band. That's like one of my favorite things to do is just see a local band play. Or go to a concert. That's pretty awesome too. Hey, we're actually pumping here. We're actually seeing us pump. There we go. There we go. Getting a workout in while we're chilling. I love it. Let's see. I mean, ES looks like power of three trying to push up. Yeah, exactly. They are starting to actually look the same. But right when we come back up to those highs, we got to see, are we just going to grab that liquidity again, come right back down? Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't really want to trade. I don't really want to jump into a trade. But it's looking like these longs are trying to step in here. We got displacement on the 1 minute. Okay, they're starting to pump. They're starting to pump a little bit. So what do we have as support? What do we have as support here? We've got a fair value gap here. Oops. That we're forming. We've got a fair value gap here that we formed. We got an order block down here. So we have some support levels. We still have ES needing, trying to reach those highs. This is like the first real move in the market we've seen. All right, we're back at the all-time highs, creating new all-time highs. And if it keeps running, it keeps running. We'll wait and see if we get some kind of retracement. Maybe there's an opportunity here. Maybe there's an opportunity. But obviously I'm not going to chase the longs. Only if there's a real setup. If we do get some retracement, we see price actually respecting support levels. Let's look at the 5-minute again. All right, we would want to see the 5-minute close above these highs. All right, we'd want to see us close above these highs, not wick above. All right, so this is the point where you're starting to look, you can start to look for entries off of these fair value gaps, right? And the longs, but you have to remember this 5-minute has not closed yet. And it's coming down kind of hard, so you almost want to wait for the 5-minute to close above these highs before getting in a long entry. Because we're seeing that strong reaction right back down after grabbing that liquidity. Aggressive entries would be off of these fair value gaps here in the longs, expecting the 5-minute to close above. But today is not the kind of day where I'm going to take aggressive entries. Today is the kind of day where I'd have to wait for displacement and then retracement, which I typically wait for anyways. But there are some days where I won't wait for that displacement, and I'll get in a trade assuming we're going to displace. But not today. This is not that kind of day for me. All right, because if that 5-minute comes back down and closes below, well, I'm not really looking to get in the longs at that point. It's just, yeah, still not really looking for anything. 5-minute closes here pretty soon. We could still see if this 5-minute creates an order block, we could still see price come down to that fair value gap below on the 5-minute. But yeah, you don't really see me looking to get an entry right now. I'm just kind of seeing what price does. We don't want to get caught in any manipulation traps. A lot of this stuff is just trying to manipulate us into getting in a trade just to reverse. So 5-minute close without displacement, came all the way back down. We now have that 5-minute fair value gap below. Yep, exactly. A lot of people just got liquidated. Right, you could take entries off of the 1-minute fair value gaps, like I said, but I'm just not looking to do that. I'm not looking to do that right now. Also important in the next 5 minutes to see how the 15-minute closes. If this 15-minute closes above, leaves an order block behind, that could be a very good support level in the future. But we still see ES very far away from our London high and our Asia high. Not super far, but we still are bouncing off Asia low right now on ES. Okay, we're tapping into that 5-minute. Good reaction so far off that 5 minute. Look at that pump. That's what I was talking about. Touch into that 5 minute fair value gap and then see a pump. Still not taking any trades right now though. I don't think I'll take any trades during this session, but like I said, if we touch into that 5 minute, saw a reaction, that could be a good entry. Just seeing that failure to displace on the 5 minute doesn't give me all the confidence in the world. But so far, a good reaction off that imbalance below. What I don't want to do here is just jump into a trade because I want to take a trade. And then let's say we end up losing that trade. And then, what are we going to feel like after that? When we just waited 2 hours or an hour and 40 minutes. We didn't take any trades. We kept good discipline. And then we decide to take a trade just because we feel the need to take a trade. It's not the best feeling. I'm not saying you shouldn't trade, but I'm kind of in that mindset of just wanting to wait until after lunch to take trades. I know that this price action is looking better. We are seeing a good reaction off the 5 minute. But I'd still be wanting to see if this 15 minute closes above or not. Yeah, we can see price respect to this 1 minute fair value gap here, tapped into the 5 minute down below. We're seeing that pump. But still looks like we're manipulating a little bit. So I'll wait 1 more minute to see how this 15 minute candle closes. We'll see how this 15 minute candle closes, and then I'll decide if I'm going to end the session or not. I will most likely end the session and just not take any trades and just wait for that 10 a.m. Pacific time to come back and look for some trades. But we're in profit on the week. I don't really want to come into this kind of day and risk my profit. Wick, no candle. What do you mean? Oh, this one here? Well, this just shows a really weak move to the upside. Really weak move to the upside. Doesn't mean we can't continue up, but this wouldn't give me a ton of confidence in getting back in the longs after seeing this kind of candle. Let's see that 15 minute close with the displacement. We closed above. Did ES close above? ES did not close above. Of course. Of course ES did not. But you can see we're still just chopping at this level. But getting that displacement is important. Right, we might see price retrace back into this 15 minute order block below. Yeah, I still don't really like this stuff. If you want to try to take the longs, you can look into taking the longs off these support levels down here. Personally, I'm not going to take any trades. I'm going to call it here. I know we got the displacement, but we're still choppy. We're still moving slow. I don't want to put any risk into the market. We'll come back after lunch hour, so we'll come back in about an hour and 45 minutes. Remember, we do have, today's Wednesday, yeah, we have book club at 9:30. So we have book club about an hour and 15 for anybody that is in the book club or wanting to join the book club. We got our first meeting in an hour and 15 minutes. So if you guys want to join that, come back and join that, and then we'll come back. I'll send out an announcement as a reminder. We'll probably come back at around 10 or 10:15 after the book club for our next session and see if there's any more setups, and then after that we'll call it a day. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Still a fun session, still a lot of learning. Remember, patience is key in these kinds of situations. Yeah, 10 to 10:15 PST. Patience is key, right? If you learned anything from today, just remember that we do not have to take trades. Sometimes it's better just to sit on our hands and watch the market play out. Okay, but I had fun with you guys today. Love getting to know you all. So remember, book club's coming up soon, and then our last session of the day. All right, take it easy until then. Go take a little break if you need to. Get some food. And I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Peace.